A moment long hoped for. A moment tested by time, danger, and distance. Two souls torn apart now stand on the edge of something powerful. This is the reunion Brianna has dreamed of, and the one Roger fought through worlds to reach. In one breath, everything they lost rushes back. Asterisk the world around Brianna feels still, as if time itself pauses in respect for what is about to happen. She stands in the quiet, holding on to the last traces of hope she refused to let die. Every choice she made, every mile she walked, led her to this moment. The air is cool, but her heart beats warm with expectation. She has faced fear, loneliness, and the heavy weight of not knowing if the man she loves would ever return to her. Yet she never stopped believing that Roger was out there trying to find his way back. Roger, on the other hand, has carried her face in his mind through every struggle. Distance could not shake his devotion. It only sharpened it. He moved forward through uncertainty, guided by the memory of her voice and the promise they made to each other. His journey was not just through places, but through doubt, regret, and the quiet truth that love demands perseverance. With each step he took, he imagined the moment he would finally see her again. Now, both of them stand closer than they realize, separated only by a few final breaths of anticipation. Symbols of their past surround them, a familiar landscape, a path once walked together, echoes of laughter that feel like they're returning for the first time in ages. These details gently remind them that despite the challenges, their story has always been leading back to this point. The wine shifts, carrying a sense of change. It is the kind of change they once feared but now cling to with hope. Brianna feels at first a tingling sense that the life she wanted is just moments away. Roger feels it too, a pull stronger than doubt, stronger than fear. The world that kept them apart is slowly fading behind them. The scene is calm, but the emotion beneath it is fierce. It is the calm before joy, before relief, before a reunion shaped by love that refused to break. And as they stand unknowingly on the edge of seeing each other again, everything around them whispers the same truth. Love, no matter the test, finds its way home. Asterisk the moment begins to tighten, like a breath held too long. Brianna senses something shifting in the air, something she can't name but refuses to ignore. Her hands tremble, not from fear, but from the hope she has trained herself to keep quiet. For so long, she pushed her feelings down, telling herself that hope was dangerous. But now, hope feels louder than her heartbeat. It rises inside her, steady and unstoppable, as if her soul recognizes a presence before her eyes do. Roger moves through the quiet landscape with a determined step, guided by instinct more than direction. Every sound around him feels sharper, the crunch of leaves, the soft push of wind, the echo of his own movement. He doesn't know exactly what he will see when he reaches the end of the path, but his heart tells him that something important waits there. Something true. His thoughts drift to Brianna, the way her strength held their family together, the way her love gave him a reason to fight harder than he ever thought he could. He left pieces of himself along the road, but the best parts of him were always meant to return to her as Brianna steps forward. Memories flash like small sparks, moments of laughter, moments of loss, the promises they whispered in darker times. Each memory carries weight, yet lifts her at the same time. She has never been closer to the truth of her own heart. She breathes in deeply, trying to steady herself, but the air feels charged, like the world is preparing to reveal something long overdue. Roger slows his pace when he notices a familiar curve in the path ahead, a place they once crossed together, a place where their lives changed. He pauses, letting the past wash over him without drowning in it. He feels the ache of everything they went through, the separation, the danger, the uncertainty, but he also feels the strength of everything that brought them here. His chest tightens with a feeling he has chased across time, the belief that he is finally close. The silence around them deepens, but it is no longer empty. It is full of unspoken words, full of longing, full of the invisible thread that has always tied their hearts together. Brianna feels the thread tug gently. Roger feels it pull him forward. They are not face to face yet, but something inside them already knows. The wait is almost over. The world is aligning, step by step, heartbeat by heartbeat. Soon, the space between them will disappear, and the journey that tore them apart will become the story that brought them back together. Asterisk, it happens in a single heartbeat. One quiet second where the world finally decides to give back what it once took away. Brianna turns, almost without meaning to, as if something beyond her control guides her movement. The light shifts, the air trembles, and suddenly there he is. Roger stands just a few steps away, framed by the soft glow of the fading day. He isn't a memory anymore, or a hope she kept buried to survive the waiting. He is real, breathing, alive. Home, for a moment, neither moves. It is as though time itself refuses to interrupt what their eyes are saying. Brianna's breath catches, her chest tightening with 1,000 emotions she never had the chance to speak. Fear, longing, gratitude, love. The sight of him washes through her like a wave she cannot fight. Every worrying she carried, every night she cried silently, every whisper of doubt shatters in an instant. Roger is safe. Roger is here. Roger feels the same storm inside him, though he stands perfectly still. He watches her with a look of disbelief, as if he's afraid she'll vanish if he blinks. Her presence hits him harder than any battle, stronger than any challenge he faced along the way. He sees every version of her at once. The woman he left, the woman he dreamed of, the woman who gave him every reason to keep moving. His voice wants to speak, but his heart is louder, beating so hard he can feel it in his throat. They step toward each other at the same time, drawn by something deeper than choice. Their movements are slow, careful, almost reverent, as if they are afraid to break the spell. When they finally meet, there is no dramatic gesture, no shouted words, only an overwhelming sense of rightness. Their hands find each other first, fingers weaving together as naturally as breathing. It is a simple touch, but it carries the weight of everything: separation, survival, promise, and peace. Brianna closes her eyes, letting the warmth of his hand spread through her like sunlight after a long winter. Roger lifts her hand gently, holding it as if it's the most fragile, precious thing he has ever touched. In this moment, words are unnecessary. Their silence speaks louder than anything. I missed you. I fought for you. I found you. Around them, the world seems to soften. The wind quiets. The colors grow warmer. It isn't magic, just a feeling of two lives slipping back into place, fitting together the way they were always meant to. For the first time in what feels like forever, Brianna and Roger are not surviving apart. They are living together again. Asterisk, their reunion isn't just a single emotional spark, it's the quiet rewriting of everything they feared they had lost. As Brianna stands there with Roger's hand in hers, she begins to feel the world settle around her. The chaos, the uncertainty, the fear that used to haunt her nights all begin to loosen their grip. It is as if this one moment carries enough strength to heal the fractures left behind by time. She realizes that love does not simply return. It rebuilds. It grows back into the spaces where pain once lived. Roger feels the same shift inside him. Being here with her reminds him why he survived every hardship. It wasn't just determination, it was purpose. Brianna was always that purpose. He studies her face softly, noticing the strength in her eyes, the resilience that kept her moving forward even when everything around her seemed impossible. He knows she carried the heavier burden. She held their family together while he fought his way back. And now, with her standing before him, he feels a peace he hasn't known in a long time. A peace that tells him he never truly lost his place. It was waiting here, in her heart. As they breathe in the same quiet air, the past doesn't vanish, but it becomes something they can finally bear together. Each challenge is now a story they survived. Every mile between them has turned into proof of their commitment. They don't speak it aloud, but they both understand love like theirs refuses to fade. It lives through storms. It breaks through time. It survives the distance that would crush lesser bonds. Around them, the scene deepens with meaning. The landscape that once felt vast and lonely now seems small, almost intimate, like the world is gently folding around them. The sky stretches above them with soft colors, reminding them that endings and beginnings are often the same thing. This reunion is not just relief, it is a promise renewed without words. A quiet vow that no matter what comes next, they will face it together. In the bigger story of their lives, this moment marks a turning point. It shows how Season 7, Part 2 carries themes far greater than struggle alone. It speaks of the power of reconnection, the strength found in returning to the people who make life worth fighting for. This is more than a scene, it's a reminder that even in a world full of uncertainty, love can always lead the way back home. Roger and Brianna are together again. And this time, their bond feels unbreakable. Even after their hands meet and the first wave of relief settles inside them, the moment continues to echo through their hearts. The reunion is not just a single breath of happiness. It ripples outward, touching every fear, every memory, every unanswered question they carried during their time apart. Brianna feels the weight of everything she held together finally beginning to lift. Her shoulders ease, her heartbeat slows, and for the first time in what feels like forever, she allows herself to rest emotionally, spiritually, completely. She realizes she no longer has to carry the future alone. Roger feels the same quiet shift. The world that once felt sharp now softens around him. Every step he took away from Brianna replayed in his mind during his journey, reminding him of what he was fighting for. Standing with her now, he understands that the distance they traveled physically and emotionally has shaped them into stronger versions of themselves. Their love didn't weaken from the time apart. It deepened. It learned patience. It learned endurance. And now, standing together, it learns peace. As they look at one another, there's a silent exchange that speaks louder than any words. It's the recognition of what they survived and the quiet promise that the hardest days won't define them. This moment is the beginning of healing. The kind of healing that doesn't happen in a rush, but happens slowly through understanding, forgiveness, and reconnecting piece by piece. Brianna sees in Roger not just the man who left, but the man who fought his way back. Roger sees in Brianna not just the woman he missed, but the woman who held on to hope even when hope seemed too fragile to hold. The world around them continues, but they stand in a sacred pause, one that only people who truly love each other can share. In this pause, they breathe the same air, feel the same quiet joy, and understand that they have been given a second chance. They know challenges will still come. Life won't suddenly become perfect. But the difference now is clear. They will face whatever comes next side by side. Not separated by fear or circumstance, the emotional echo stays with them. A reminder that this reunion is not the end of their journey, but the turning of a new chapter, one written with renewed trust, deeper affection, and an unshakable bond that time itself could not break. It becomes the moment they will look back on someday and say, "That was when everything started to find its way again." Their reunion doesn't simply close a painful chapter, it reshapes the entire path of the story moving forward. In the world of Outlander, where time bends and fate twists without warning, moments like this are rare anchors. Brianna feels this truth settling inside her like a quiet flame. She understands that everything she and Roger endured wasn't just hardship, it was preparation. Their struggles sharpened their courage, their separation tested their loyalty. And this reunion now strengthens their resolve for what comes next. Roger, standing beside her, feels the shift just as clearly. The chaos that once pushed them apart has now pulled them into a deeper understanding of each other. He realizes that their love isn't fragile or fleeting, it's something forged in the middle of storms. This realization fills him with a steady confidence. He no longer carries the fear of what if. Instead, he carries a sense of purpose, knowing that their bond will guide them through whatever challenges lie ahead in Season 7. Part to dot around them, small details hint at the larger story still unfolding. A distant sound that doesn't belong. A change in the air that suggests someone or something is drawing near. The world of Outlander never stays still for long, and both Brianna and Roger sense it. Their reunion is a moment of calm, but not a sign that the danger is gone. Rather, it is a reminder of what they are fighting for, what they must protect, and who they must stand beside when the story demands more of them. This emotional turning point prepares them for the tests that await. Brianna's strength grows sharper with Roger at her side. The choices she once questioned now feel clearer. The risks she must take no longer feel impossible. Roger, in turn, feels grounded in a way he hasn't in a long time. He carries a deeper understanding of his place in their family and a renewed determination to defend it. Their reunion becomes the thread that ties the upcoming events together. Every decision they make, every step forward, is fueled by the knowledge that they found their way back to each other despite the odds. This is what gives them power. This is what gives them hope. And as Season 7, Part 2 continues, the audience can feel that this bond tested, strengthened, and reclaimed will shape every moment that follows, though danger still lingers in the shadows of their story. Brianna and Roger now walk forward with a shared fire. Their reunion is not fragile. It is the foundation of the journey ahead. And whatever the world throws at them next, they face it not with fear, but with certainty that they are no longer alone. Asterisk, as the moment settles into memory, Brianna and Roger stand side by side with a clarity they haven't felt in a long time. Their journey filled with separation, searching, fear, and sacrifice has led them back to the simplest truth. Love, when held tightly enough, can outlast anything. This reunion becomes more than a scene between two characters. It becomes a symbol for every viewer who has followed their story, hoping for this very outcome. It speaks to the belief that no matter how far life pulls people apart, the heart has a way of finding its path back home. The world around them begins to move again. The wind returns to its usual rhythm. Distant sounds echo softly in the background. But even as life continues, something inside them has changed. They hold a new sense of calm, a deeper understanding of what really matters. They know that challenges will still come, and that the road ahead may twist in ways they cannot predict. Yet the strength of their reunion stands like a quiet promise. Whatever storms rise, they will face them with the certainty that they have already survived the unthinkable. This closing moment also touches the broader narrative of Outlander, a story built on time, fate, and the fragile threads that tie people together. Brianna and Roger's reunion reminds us that even in a world where timelines collide and danger hides in every shadow, love remains the one constant. Not the simple, storybook kind, but a love that grows through hardship. One that refuses to break even when tested by dimensions beyond understanding. As the scene fades, the significance of their reunion lingers like a warm, steady light. It becomes a moment that carries forward into the rest of Season 7, Part 2, shaping choices, strengthening bonds, and guiding their steps into whatever unknown lies ahead. And for the audience, it becomes a tender reminder that stories like theirs endure because they mirror something deeply human, the desire to be found, to be chosen, to be held by the person who makes the world feel safe again. The final image isn't dramatic or loud. Instead, it is calm to silhouettes standing close, sharing a breath and a future. It tells us that this is not the end of their journey, but the beginning of a stronger one. And as the screen darkens and the scene concludes, the feeling that remains is simple yet powerful. Love returns, love heals, and love, in its quiet persistence, always finds its way back.